guys, once again. Welcome back to my channel. So today's another yet reading vlog. Today we're gonna be reading Alchemised. Wait, drum roll please. Oh my god, Alchemised! Whoa! I'm so scared yet so excited. Literally, like I've been putting off reading this book. Actually, a little fun fact: I didn't know about this book until my friend told me about it, and I was like, I'm not reading that. Like you can read that, but I'm not gonna read that. This is like torture. Like this. Well, this is like it's a big ass book and it's torture. Like I'm not gonna be reading it. But then she got me into it. Like I was like interested. But then I thought maybe I'm gonna read it like on my tablet. Like I might. It's divided to 3 parts. So the first part, I thought I'm gonna read the first part on my tablet, and if I really liked it, I'm gonna buy the book. But I kept putting it off, because this is just me. I kept thinking to myself, if I finish all of my TBR, I'm gonna read it. And I'm like, this is never gonna happen. So yeah, then my friends got me the book for a birthday gift. So yeah, I felt like, you know what, maybe just a sign for me to start it. You know what, whatever. So yeah, I'm so scared. I'm traumatized. Like I started the first 2 chapters last night. I don't know why I always talk to you when I finish the first 2 chapters, but I finished the first 2 chapters yesterday, and I wanted to continue, but I could not. I was pretty tired. Every time I film this video, I'm so tired. I don't know why. Maybe I need the hospital. I don't know. But yeah, so I can really tell like I don't understand anything. But I got on TikTok, and it said that you're not supposed to understand anything in the first part. Like I said, it divided to 3 parts. So we're not supposed to understand anything in the first part because you're like Helena, the main character. You're just as confused as her. So this makes me feel better. Anyway, here's the premise of the book. What is it you think you're protecting in that brain of yours? The war is over. Holdfast is dead. The eternal flame extinguished. There's no one left for you to save. Once a promising alchemist, Helena Marino is now a prisoner of war and of her own mind. Her resistance friends and allies have been brutally murdered, her abilities suppressed, and the world she knew destroyed. In the aftermath of a long war, Paria's new ruling class of corrupt, guild families and depraved necromancers, whose vile undead creatures helped bring about their victory, hold Helena captive. According to Resistance records, she was a healer of little importance within their ranks, but Helena has inexplicable memory loss of the months leading up to her capture, making her enemies wonder, is she truly as insignificant as she appears, or are her lost memories hiding some vital piece of the Resistance's final gambit? To uncover the memories buried deep within her mind, Helena is sent to the High Reeve, one of the most powerful and ruthless necromancers in this new world. Trapped on his crumbling estate, Helena's fight to protect her lost history and to preserve the last remaining shards of her former self is just beginning. For her prison and captor have secrets of their own, secrets Helena must unearth, whatever the cost. So yeah, the premise is so good. I heard people say that's devastating. So I hope that it is, because it has been so long since I've read anything about any book. So I feel like, you know what, maybe I need this. So yeah, I'm very excited yet very scared. But yeah. Also, like the first chapter, I could not understand anything. I had to Google like meaning and stuff. But I went on TikTok to get me, excited about the book, and I watched like a trailer and I watched everything. And I also found glossary, like Alchemised Glossary. So this is really helps, guys. Like I'm gonna put the photos somewhere. I don't know if I'm gonna put the photos because it's a lot of photos. But like it really helps, guys. So yeah, let's get started.
there, it is cold there, but I am safe and I am warm. Although it's hard, I know I gotta keep up, no time to late, to drift away. I find my space, I spend my time down the rabbit hole again, and as I fall I can feel the pain. You can't tell me where to go, so I don't know, I just go with the flow. I go with the flow. I'm falling up, I'm falling down, from the sky and from the ground. Up above just like below, and I don't know where I should go. 'Cause I'm stuck in limbo. I'm out of love, but I guess I deserved it. Trying to hide, to pass you by. I'm getting time, feeling fine. I'm light as air, no one can reach me. Lost in a dream, lost in between. Let's keep on flying, let's keep on breathing. I'm falling up, I'm falling down, from the sky and from the ground. Up above just like below, and I don't know where I should go. 'Cause I'm stuck in limbo. Cause I'm stuck in limbo.
It's I don't know how many days later, and I just finished part 1 of Alchemized. And I have a lot to say, kind of, like, depends. So, I feel like, okay, whatever. So, I'm gonna tell you about the spoilers because, or like about the book, because there's no way I'll be able to make you understand. Okay, so what's happening is we have Helena, who, like we said, she's lost her memory and stuff. So the world building is way too much in the first part. I heard people say that the first part is boring, and I can see why they're saying that because no events are happening in the first part. But I did not find it boring as much as I found like there was a lot of world building. To the point, like I normally do not have a tab exactly for world building, but like it was too much. I had to keep track somehow. So I literally used this black pen to keep track of the world building. Like wait, let me tell you. Let me. show you. This is how I underline it, which I something that made me keep track of it honestly, because it was way too much workload at the beginning, to the point where like it was getting, like too much information. But by the end of the part one, you kind of get the idea of the world building. You know what I mean? Like at first it just felt very scattered, and you don't really understand. Like it feels like it was missing some pieces. But I think at the end of part one, you kind of get the how it's going. So we have this war that happened between something called the guild and something called hot fasts. Hot fasts are the chosen ones, or the ones with magic, okay, who they think that they got blessed by the gods, okay, a god named Sol, okay. So they just feel like, they're blessed, they have the magic, so they should rule Palladia, okay, or Palladia, I don't remember the name exactly. Then we have the guilds. The guilds do not have magic, but they feel like they should rule. So they should, because the hard fasting, everything is divinely, and like there's nothing called science. Even healing is not science; it's divinely. Have to be the chosen one. Uh, the guilds think no, it is about science. And to prove your point, we're gonna make the undying, which literally like dead people who come back to life. So this is the reason. So a war happened, and of course the resistance or the hard fast loses, and Helena's taken captured, and she lost her memory. You know that, right? So we discover that actually she's an animancer. What is an animancer? It is something beyond vivimancers and necromancers. Necromancer is someone who uh, plays with the dead body. Like someone's dead, he can bring him back to life. A vivimancer is someone who plays with the living body. Like he can control the living body, he can control, like paralyze someone, stuff like that. An animancer can manipulate the mind and soul of someone. I don't know if it has to be. I think it's another type of animancer. So I believe a living body, like mind and soul of a living body. So we all this time we thought that her memory was lost because someone in resistance erased her memories, because she knew something, and like he was scared to capture her and stuff. But we discovered that she's an animancer, and that she lost her own memories, like she erased her own memories. Yeah, that's what it's called. So yeah, because apparently she has something that she's afraid to tell, so stuff like that. And we discovered the resistance is somewhat alive, because they're still killing people and stuff, and they still don't know how they're doing that, and they found a way to kill the undying. So yeah. Also, something I really found very interesting is Kane, the main character. I feel like he's so not what I expected at all. Like, sure, he's a villain, but so far I do not find him a villain. So far I found him, I feel bad for him. I kind of feel like he does not deserve her unkind. Like, yeah, he manipulates her mind and stuff like that. But I feel like he's generally he does not hurt her. You know what I mean? And also he's stuck to he's also getting traumatized and also getting punished, and so it's bad for them both. And there was the scene that that made me wanna read the book actually, which is she's like, "Why don't you die?" And he has prior commitment, I'm afraid. Yes. So yeah, but the romance is not that much. It's very the romance. This book is not I cannot tell you this is a romance scene. No, it's not. It's just very it's not black and white. It's gray, literally. Anyway, so uh, I don't know. Just I think she's a little bit mean to him, more than usual. There's a scene I feel the depression coming. I feel like this is gonna destroy me actually. There's a thing that they have this program, the kids have this program, breeding program. Apparently they killed a lot of alchemists in the war. No shit, So they feel like, no, we need this alchemist that we killed. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take it to our own hands, and we're gonna get to people who has very strong magic. We're gonna make them produce a baby, and the baby is gonna have the ultimate power or something like that. Okay. So Apparently, Helena was sterilized because apart to get to the resistance, they had to sterilize her. Okay, but they did not take out the womb. They just did something I don't remember. So yeah, apparently the doctor, without killing her, was like working on a thing like to like make her unsterilized, and it worked. So now she's unsterilized, and who's stronger? Who's the same strong as her? The same power as her? Who's also strong as her? Cain. So they literally made them both have sex, and that was like that was traumatizing because honestly, it's rape. It's rape for both of them on both their ends because like I'm sorry, but also like Cain, he does not want this. So literally, he threw up after it happened. Like, it's not funny, but I just feel bad. I just feel bad. So I don't know that the game is so traumatized, and she actually got pregnant. So yeah. But we got a scene like he was drinking. He was drinking and she went to him and he said, "Oh, Marina, if I had known what pain you'd cause me, I never would have taken you. But at this point, I suppose I deserve to burn. I wonder if you will burn too." Like he just like I find he's actually like so cute. And also we discovered that Moro, I think that's his name, which is like the guilds or like the main bad guy. He's dying, and his only source of power is Cain. We don't know how yet, but this is what we discovered. And bro, when she got pregnant, she was like hysterical and stuff, and he was like, "I'm so sorry." It's so bad for him. And when she got like through her the month that she was getting pregnant, he was so cute. Like she was like, "I will never ask anything of you. You can do anything you want to me. I'll never ask for any mercy from you, but please don't do this. This baby, it will be half yours. Don't let them." And he's like, "No one is going to hurt your baby. Nothing will happen to it. You have my word. Calm down." And then she's like, "Stay away from me." Girl. Also, the part where he said nothing will happen to it remind me of Edward and Bella, bro.
I'm not gonna let it hurt you. Carla will get that thing out.
Nothing.
Like, Carla will take this thing out. Thing? I had to put the scene somewhere because it reminded me of Bella and Edward. And the whole month, like, he was holding her hand, and like, it was a risk that she might die from this birth or from this kid, I think. I don't remember exactly. But, he kept holding her hand and massaging her hands, and like, he kept watching over when she slept. Like, guys, this is cute. I found this very cute, Amatan. Some Arabic slept, bro. And I found this very cute. So I have high hopes. So yeah, part one finished or ended on like her getting some of her memories, and a lot of like okay, wait, let's break this down. So what happened is she literally like all of a sudden she remembered everything. It was all statements basically. "Surely I deserve something in return to warm my cold heart. You seem pleased to have successfully whored yourself. You're mine. You swear yourself to me. I have warned you. If something happens to you, I will personally raise the internal flame. There isn't a threat, it's a promise. Consider your survival as much as necessary to the resistance as holdfasts. If you die, I will kill every single one of them." I have a feeling it might be Luke, which is like her ex-lover who like she's so obsessed over and that she entered the resistance for and like he died and all that. But I have a feeling it might be Cain. I have a feeling that they might have something going on during / before the war. So literally the next chapter, like the part 2 chapter, is 4 years prior. So I believe the war itself, or like before the war. I don't know. But yeah, I'm very excited to continue the series. Also, like most of my tabs are ending, guys. Like we haven't even started. Like we're 27 into the book, the percent of the book, and already my tabs are almost dying. So I need to buy new ones ASAP. But yeah, this is what's happening, guys. Hey guys, so I just reached 50% mark in the book, And guys, look at how many tabs. It's gonna look so good when it's over. I cannot wait. But let me tell you about the book. So part 2 is all about the war, like the flashback, the memories that she lost in the part 1. So it's all about the war. So far I'm in page 500, 519 I believe, yeah, 519. And I think the part 2 ends in like 8 something. Anyway, so what happened is, so first of all, it has been 5 years of the war, which I felt was like, whoa, that's way too many times that we did not get, but sure, I guess it's good. Wars take a long time. I get it. Anyway, so it has been 5 years of the war, and the resistance are dying and are losing, okay? So, what do they think? Somehow, Cain tells them that I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna give you information on how to win the guilds. I'm gonna be a rat for you or something. My only condition is Helena. Like, I take her during and after the war. So they're like, you want her? Okay, you go take her. Just give us the information. Literally, that's literally what happened. So yeah, so the whole thing is just Cain and Helena like meeting up, having some little bit of tension, and then him giving her the envelope, and then she goes to the hospital over and over and over. It's getting a little boring, to be honest. Like, this part is where I'm bored. Like, the first part I was not bored as people said. Like, people always said that like the part 1 is the boring part. Once you get to the part 2 you're good. But for me, I felt bored in part 2 more than part 1. This part 1, I didn't really grasp what was happening. Like, there was a lot of things that I did not understand, like the world building and stuff. So I was learning new information, so I was fine. Part 2, I don't learn anything new. It's just the same thing being over and over and over again. And I get it. Trust me, I do. But I don't know, I hope it gets resolved soon. But here's my favorite quotes and my favorite parts. Yeah. So he's like, you understand the terms. And then, yes, I'm yours. And then he's like, swear it then. I want to hear you say it as a vow. She didn't let herself pause or think. She pressed a hand over her heart. I swear it, on the spirits of the 5 gods and my own soul. Cain Ferran, I'm yours as long as I live. Like, okay. Me being delusional, fine. And then she's like, swear that you will not kill me or something like that. And he's, how's this? As a token of my sincerity, I won't touch you yet. After all, I did specify willing, and you don't look very willing. And then the first meeting, guys, he gives her a ring. So they're basically married, but this is not the point. He gives her a ring, a symbol of our relationship. There's a mirrored entanglement in them. If I do anything to mine, you'll feel it. I will transmute it to warm briefly if I need to meet. Twice if it's urgent. I would advise coming very quickly if it burns twice. Here's my predicament, guys. I know that when like they have like a form of communication, like a ring or whatever, usually at some point in life the guy is gonna be like, do it urgently, like he's gonna burn her twice urgently, but it's not gonna be something urgent in like plot, or it's gonna be something urgent in like romance, if you know what I'm saying. So I'm still waiting for that scene to happen. I'm gonna tell you, I told you so, when it happens. And then she was like, what about me? How do I summon you? And she's like, no, you don't ever summon me. You burn me ever, and this deal is off. Another fucking dog. So also, like, I'm gonna say I told you so when she like summons him, and he's like, yes, baby, I'm gonna tell you, I told you so. So that's literally the whole thing that's happening. This is the main plot, or like the main thing that happened. And then one time, they were drunk. Okay, they were drunk. There's something plot-wise I'm gonna say, but like I don't know if I'm gonna explain it well, so like bear with me. So Cain's back has like an array, which I believe is like something about you know the ones that like you summon demons from or something. Like, I'm gonna put pictures here. I think it's the same thing on his back. It's like magic. So this thing, what did it do? Apparently, it has like traits like bad traits for him. He's like calculating, cunning, devoted, determined, ruthless, unfailing, unhesitating, and unyielding. So if these traits won and like he became all of these traits, he's literally not gonna be himself anymore. This is all he's gonna be. So she helped him recover it, so I believe it's not working anymore. And we discovered a little bit of lore that he did this to himself. Like, it was a punishment, but they asked him to like do the traits himself. So he basically did that to himself, which is like he thought he's not gonna survive it, because usually no one survives, this much array or this much magic. But he did survive it. So now like so some lore. But then we have in the scene. Okay, so after she what is it called? Healed him. He was like so happy that they got drunk. Okay, like he was celebrating. So he was drunk, and this is the part where I saw and I was like, yes, this is why I'm gonna read the book. So basically, he says, I must admit, if anyone had told me you had become so lovely, I would never have come near you. I was rather blunt-sided when I saw you again. It's like this part this scene in part 1 where he was also drunk and he was like, you so lovely, I would never come near you, or something that it was like the same. She's like, guys, are they being the same thing? Okay, anyway, and she's like, what? And he's like, you're like a rose in a graveyard. I wonder what you could have turned into without the war. Just so sad, guys. And then literally they were kissing and they were having fun. They're like, you're almost there. And then she just remembers this is all a lie. This is all a job and whatever. So he literally she stiffens and he's like, go home. So we lost the scene. Like, she's not helping plot wise and romance wise. Nothing is happening. So yeah, this is the thing that happened. I have one quote that I tabbed, because there are some good quotes in here, but I don't feel like I don't need to tab them. I just highlight them, but I do not tab them because I feel like there's more good ones, out there somewhere. So the first quote tab that I have is this: "You're so young. You don't even know how young you are. You're sacrificing things you don't even comprehend the value of." So yeah. Also, something. So you're telling me, look, the ex-lover that Helena was so like, I did this for him, I went to distance for him, I did everything for him, I'm gonna do everything for him. Like, she went all that trouble for him, Turns out he doesn't really like her, and he likes Layla, or Layla, whatever, who but he cannot like her because, he is the, what is it? Participate, something like that. I'm gonna put the name over here. Is it the leader of it all? So he cannot fall in love because it's a weakness. Anyway, so Luke and the Holdfasts are, I think, the kind of like their power is polymancers, which are fire. So they literally they wield fire. So yeah, I'm at chapter 44 so far. I do like it. Also, something worth to note: why are the names of the months and days so different? Like, it's not different, but it's like for example, December is here Decemberus. Why? But anyway, this is basically what's happening so far in the book. Like, it seems like a lot, but trust me, reading it feels boring. Like, literally nothing is happening. She just, like I said, goes to the hospital, and like she heals people, and then she goes to Cain. They practice, they train something sometimes, they talk sometimes, she heals him sometimes, and then moves on. Like, literally nothing is happening. But here we are. We're halfway through, so I'm not giving up now. But I keep thinking how long this is gonna take me, because I'm literally halfway through and I think it has been like 11 something days since I've started this. So I know this is good or bad. But anyway, see you in the next update. Bye! I don't even know what was the last thing I even told you guys, but it's a couple of days later and I just reached 63% of the book. And yeah, here's your update. So actually, the last time I talked to you, the book started getting better after that. So I reached 63%. I'm at chapter 51, I believe. Yeah, and the shit went down very, very fast. Like, I don't even know what the last thing I think I said, but I'm just gonna go with what I think where I left off. So literally, like, all the meetings now is like very fun, and we got some lore about different things. Like for instance, we discovered that the holdfasts weren't as innocent as they were. Like they were not the richest, like the people, and they discover, like, before the war and everything, they discovered other metals. I think the philosophy, no, the prophecy said there was only 8 metals, but they kept discovering more metals. So they're like, we're just gonna uh, push them under the rug. No one's gonna know. So they're not very, like, the moment science and faith began to like contradict, they're like, we're gonna push them under the rug. Like no one's gonna know. Faith is what should be whatever. I forgot to do something, guys. Anyway, so yeah. So this is basically what happened. And there's a quote I really, really liked that Cain said, "Since the moment they founded the city, they set themselves up as kings, while claiming not to be. They weren't the lowly sort who would pursue power. No, they were divinely destined for it. Cold, you might say." Then she said, "That's because they didn't ask for it. They didn't want to rule." And he said, "Yes, funny how often people in power hate politics, as if what they really want is to do as they please and be praised for it. And if they aren't, then it's all beneath them." So true. Really so true. And then we discover something that I felt was shocking. For real, it was so shocking. Like, we discovered that the whole faith, that the whole part were here, that the legacy, that the whole fasting that they have, since they believe that the first necromancer, the first war of Paideia that happened, the first ancestor of Holdfast, the whole right of the place, the war that's happening right now, is because there was a war centuries ago. The first ancestor of Holdfast was against a necromancer that came to Paideia. The legacy says the necromancer came and everyone in Paideia was dead. So he brought them back to life and made an army of undying. And then the Orion, or the ancestor of Holdfast, came and they fought, and then he was called upon the god's soul, and he became the god and everything. But we discovered that it was all a lie, and that did not happen. The fact is that the necromancer came to Paideia and everyone was still alive. There's people in Paideia. And I think he came, he told them that he had miracles and he had power and he was everything. So they thought he was God. So they made temples for him. They became obsessed with him. He was their faith. Until literally this part gave me chills. Wait, I have to read it word by word. They thought he was a god. They built him a temple on the plateau, gave him everything he asked for, and he promised them immortality if they only had the faith for it. Then, one day, he brought them all together in a great assembly, in a secret place he carved underground, and declared that if they trusted him fully, utterly, he could make them live forever. I'm not sure of the process, but afterwards his temple was full of corpses, and their souls were bound together, synthesized into this substance. He used it, the power, to reanimate them all. So this is how the Undying became, I believe. And yeah, that was it reminded me of Johnstown. If you ever know what happened to Johnstown, so it reminds me of that, guys. And then Orion came to the legacy. When Orion fought the necromancer, the souls were still conscious, aware of the betrayal exacted upon them. But the gift of immortality came at the price of eternal enslavement, which I believe what happened to Cain. During the battle, the necromancer's control slipped, and the stone turned on him, the stone that he made the substance. There was a light as bright as the sun, to fill the valley, destroying the necromancer and all the necrotoads in a wave of fire. When it was over, Orion and his followers were all that remained. If the truth of the stone if the truth of the stone's nature were known, Orion feared that others might be inspired to rediscover the methods. And so, when those who witnessed the battle called the stone a gift from Sol, Orion had no choice but to let them believe it. So the whole faith, the whole chosen one, the whole why we're here, why they have hope, why they think they can win the war, is all a lie. There is no power, there is nothing, basically. So that was like a plot twist if I ever seen any, I swear. So that was like wow, and Hannah's like, I told you, I knew there was no gods. So yeah, that's what basically happened, which was like so whoa. And then the last thing is we got some lore of Cain. I think there was a time like he was training her in combat, and I don't know if I told you this. No, okay. So what happened is after Eva told this to Helena, she said, "You have 1 month to control Cain. If he's not crawling on his knees for you, then you have to kill him." So Helena's like, "Whoa, what?" So she's trying to seduce him, okay? So in combat, he was training her in combat, and like, she had a knife to his throat and everything. And he's like, "Yes, put it in a little further." She's like, "What?" And then like meaning that he knew of her plan to kill him and stuff. She's like, "No," and then she kissed him, which led to other things. And at the end, he told her his trauma. After my father's failure, after he revealed Moro's plans, do you think the high necromancer was understanding? I was still at the institute, finishing up the year. Who do you imagine was alone with him when word came that my father had been caught and confessed to treason? He had my mother in a cage when I got home. He'd been torturing her for weeks. She never recovered. Moro and Bennett were short on subjects at the time. They led the experiment together. I'd hear her screaming for hours sometimes. They would do things to her and then reverse them, so there was no traces after. I was trying to figure out if there was a way, and there were these parties they would hold. The Undying. She said I should go. Thought if I had friends, I'd be protected. But that wasn't why I'd been invited. They thought it would be interesting to find ways to make an injury that would last on one of us. And I was the youngest. Automatic short straw. I thought she would be in bed when I got back. But she'd waited up for me. She was by the door. And when she saw me, she started screaming. I kept trying to tell her that it would heal, but she kept saying it was all her fault, and her heart stopped. This is why he wanted revenge. He for real wanted to revenge on his mother. I don't know why, but I generally thought that he cared about Helena before he chose her. But in reality, he did want to avenge his mother. Like he just wanted to betray Moro, so he can get himself killed, and he needed to like make it worth, like when he needed something in return, to ask for. So he asked for Hannah. Really, he was just like, yeah, I want her. Just because he does not care about her. At least then, like now he does. So he kept sobbing, saying, I cannot care for anyone else. I could not take it and stuff. And what happened? Helena just went and told everything to Elva and Crowther, or whatever his name is. So yeah, I hated her for it, but sure. And then he's like, so he like I said, he does know the plan to kill him and stuff. So he's like, what do I do? What do I have to do to not make it disposable, to not like do anything? So what do I have to do? Tell me and I would do it. And he said, I can crawl, I can do it. So we still don't know what they asked for, but Helena heard a beg from Crowther before she left. Like Crowther and Cain were together, and like she heard beg. Crowther said to Cain to beg. So I did believe he begged for her life, but we don't know. So the last thing was that Luke got captured, And yeah, she went over to save him with the rest of the squad. And a lot of things happened. Multiple people died. She almost died, but King saved her. And he said this, guys. Guys, he said this. So she was hurt, okay? So he was like, tell me what to do. So she instructed him to like, how to like heal her. And she was like, you could be a healer. You have a natural talent for it. And he said, that's one of the most ironic things anyone has ever said to me. And I was like, wait, I heard this before. So I went back to the first part, and she had said this before. Like when she lost her memory and stuff. So I was like, yes, bring it up. Yes. And then he said, she's like, you're doing this for your mother and stuff. And he said, she's dead, but you're not. My loyalty was to those least responsible for her suffering. But the eternal flame has decided that you are an affordable casualty. I will not be noble or understanding. I can exact dual revenge. I will make them pay if they get you killed. The reason I'm here, the reason I'm doing any of this is to keep you alive, to keep you safe. That was part of the deal. So yeah, I believe he loves her, guys. I believe so. He did not say it, but I believe so. So yeah, this is what happened so far. I think I have less than 100 pages in finished book. I believe. I might be wrong. I have to double check. But guys, the amount of tabs that I've been using is insane. Like, first of all, let me just check my shit. First of all, the black pen, the one that I got specifically for this book before I started it, is ended, and I'm using this one, an old one that I have. Like, and I think this is almost over too, so like we're fucked. And second of all, the tabs, guys. So far, I've like finished 2 tabs, and I've like in 60% mark. Like I finished the gold tabs, which are for faith, and I had to restock them. Okay, I finished the red tab, which was for romance, and I had to restock them. And I believe this one is for more ambiguity of war. I have this only 1 tab left of this one, and I think I'm gonna have to restock it. So this is just, like this is just devouring my tabs. But you know what? I'm loving it. So far, the book is getting very interesting. I have less than 300 pages, I think, to part 3. So I'm interested. Guys, what did I fucking say? The moment I finish the video, use the ring. Call me if you ever need anything. I called it. I freaking called it, guys. So did I disregard you in finishing part 2 and starting part 3 and finishing the whole book? Yes, I did, but I'm sorry. Listen, I was just wanting the book to end, honestly. It dragged on for way too long. So after finishing the book, first of all, I did not cry. This is me right after. Not 1 tear. And secondly, my final thoughts are very like conflicted. Because the book is somewhat good. It talks about good topics and very good topics, but at the same time the book itself, like by itself, like if you disregard the importance of it, it's not that great. Like the writing is very simple. The writing is very, very simple. Like, okay, the magic system is, I'm gonna say the magic system is good. Like the magic system, I can give it credit for that. It was very good. The characters are good. Helena, even though most of the time she really bugged me, I felt she was the most humane of them all. You know what I mean? Like she was the most, like she always kept trying to save people. She always kept, like she never stopped. She didn't know how to not care about people. Even if they betrayed her, even if they did not care about her the same. Stuff like that. I felt she was the most humane. Luke, I'm sorry, Luke. I hated you at the middle, but you were actually a nice person. Lila, she's great. Everyone is great. Like everyone. I did not hate anyone except, of course, the obvious people. But other than that, I felt the book was fine. And the whole plot about the brothers wanting to be gods or whatever, I felt it was like I did not expect that. I wanted something more. Like, what do you mean brothers wanting to be gods? It was very like anticlimactic. But other than that, The book was fine. Like I said, also at the end, I did not cry, I did not feel anything. The thing that really got me was at the very last end, like the part where they did not write anything about Helena, and the only thing that they wrote was like the caption. Marino left the city at the start of the Palladian Civil War to study healing. She survived the war but died during imprisonment prior to liberation. She was a non-active member of the Order of the Eternal Flame and did not fight. That got me because she was erased. The thing about Kane him being a villain is somewhat fine to me, but just erased Helena all what she did. You know what I mean? Sad. But yeah, I feel like the book was fine. I don't know, guys. I promise I cry about books. I promise I feel things about books. Like I cried when reading As Long as Diamond Trees Grow. As Long as Diamond Trees Grow. I cried twice. The first time I read it, and the first time when I was rereading it to annotate it. And I cried when I read Average Sam. I bored my ass out at Saving Noah. I don't know why, but I did. I want to tell you that, guys, I cry. Trust me, I cry about books. It did not get me. Maybe because it was so long that by the time it was the ending, I was like, I just want this to end. Not in like a hateful way. I hate this book. It kept dragging on. I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm trying to explain myself because I don't want to be cancelled. But I really thought it was gonna be stronger than that. It had the potential to be stronger than that. It had the themes, the things that could be stronger than that, but it wasn't. If you want to read about war, go read As Long as Diamond Trees Grow. This book, I'm sure, will blow your eyes out. It will blow your eyes out because it was so good. The first half of the second part was all about Helena and Kane establishing a relationship and whatever. The second half, where the war started, it was very I felt the war suddenly made an appearance. It wasn't there the whole book. It was just in the background. And then it's whoa, the war is getting hotter, the war is getting worse. I'm like, okay, fine. And also the people who tell you that this book is not a romantic book are lying. This book is very much romance, just because it talks about other things, politics, religion, war, because it talks about all of this important stuff, does not diminish that it is at its core a romantic book. People who kept saying it's not a romance book, it is, guys. It just romance is part of the whole thing. Do not diminish it, please. So yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I swear, guys, I like books. I just feel so sad because I really had high hopes for this book. What I'm not crying about is that because I was disappointed. I think I'm gonna I don't know about my rating because I was thinking it's definitely not 5 stars. I was thinking 4 stars just because of the thoughtness of it and because I wasted all of my time and the length of it. So I was thinking 4 stars, but I was like, is it 4 stars? So I don't know, 3.5 maybe. I still have to sit with it for a little while, but yeah, I'm so sorry, guys. So this is the end of this video. I'm so sad that I don't like it. I'm so sad. Anyway, so yeah. Thank you guys for watching very much. I'm sorry if I disappointed you, and I'm disappointed myself. And yeah, see you in the next one.